So it made me smile, because I do like my brother still. And so that word went away from me, because I stopped my inner critic. So if you develop a phrase that almost makes you smile, it does two things. It gets rid of the inner critic, and then it also helps you to get in a better place and have a better day, starting with a smile instead of a critic. You're going to, you need to use healthier motivation habits. Remind yourself of the benefits. Remember, we went over the benefits of having a good self-esteem. So all those benefits are going to hold true if you eliminate your inner critic, and you're going to write down the benefits. I was challenged, although I should say, when I was all of your ages, I didn't journal either. So I know nobody journals in here but me, because I'm old, but that's not why I journal. I actually ended up journaling 2 years ago when, remember I talked about Miracle Morning and starting your day for an hour in the morning? Part of the Miracle Morning system is during that hour you do journal for at least 5 minutes. And during the journaling, it's really so powerful because you're visiting things that are your priority first thing in the morning before everybody else interferes with you. And that journaling, if you date it, I actually do integrate prayer with mine too. And if you date it, and then as your life evolves, you can check back to say, wow, I put this down and I did it. Just like you guys did the gremlin, and you worked on your gremlin. Kudos to you. And that's what really life is, and that's what journaling is. It's, you know, putting down things that are important to you, just you, and then following up with yourself. So I would highly recommend just getting a blank journal and start talking to yourself. That's weird, huh? I can see how that looks. And also, this helps you also refocus on what you really, really want to do and what you like. You know, sometimes life carries us to a spot that we're not that comfortable, but it just, we end up there. We sometimes don't even know how we got there. But once we're there, two things can happen. Either you adjust everything that's important to you and suddenly you've got a whole different life that doesn't include what you like. Or you take a minute, you put your arms around it, you rethink how you got there, and then try to put together a strategy to help you move forward in the direction that means the most to you. It's easy to get sidetracked, and it's hard to get back on track. So we're going to write down 3 things every evening. Here we go again, more writing. So can you imagine ending your night with writing down 3 things? The 3 things are going to be thoughts that you're having about your day, thoughts you're having about where you're headed, just 3 things that can summarize for you positives or opportunities where you know you're going to be able to turn it into a positive. So to end your day with that is also very reinforcing, because otherwise, when you go to sleep is really important. It's really important to all of us. And if we go to lay down at night and you've got so many things swimming around in your head, historically they might end up being negative. Now where are you headed? Now you're not going to get to sleep. So have you been there? Oh yeah. He's already, he's going to be up tonight just thinking about it. No, you're going to write down 3 things. It's going to be positive. It's going to be awesome. And so, yeah, we all do that. So a fresh start and a fresh start to even your sleep time is really a good thing. Also, to maintain a good self-esteem, you just need to do the right thing. And I know you already know what that is because you just did the right thing when you did your project with this class. We all know what the right thing is. Sometimes our temptation is to, we always want to do the right thing, but sometimes it seems like extra effort or that person may not appreciate it. But it doesn't matter if they appreciate it, because you should be doing it just as much for yourself as for someone else. Because when you're done doing the right thing, how do you feel? Like when you were done with the Boy Scout camp, I mean, how did you feel? It was a job well done, right? So just trying to establish a feeling, a mentality in you that says, job well done. So the other thing, you're going to replace, you're not going to try for perfection. Perfection is impossible. So once again, you'd be setting yourself up for impossible things. And you want to be successful. I'm not asking you to compromise your goals or to compromise your standards, but I do know perfect is a very frustrating attempt. So instead, just be glad when you're moving forward. And every time you move forward from the place you just were, you're way ahead of when you were here. So a step at a time is really a good philosophy. Handle mistakes and failures in a positive way. I've had so many opportunities to fail that it would have been called a failure had I not been able to reverse it and stand back on my feet and something else come out of it that was positive. But when you're in failure mode, oh my goodness, it seems like, you know, down you go. A great example for me is when I had a real estate portfolio of 32 homes, and I had a $4.5 million loan, and then the real estate slump hit, and people weren't paying their rent, and I couldn't come up with the money, and it was like, wow, this is exciting. The banks call me every day because I was the biggest loan in the state. I was so proud. And, and they were scared out of their minds. And so I just kept talking to them, and I'm thinking, I've never done this before. Where do I go? It turned out that I was blessed in that they negotiated with me. They took some of the homes, and they sold them and made more money than I could have. They came up on their feet. I came out on my feet. I use it as a credential now, but I'll tell you, it was nothing that I would want to repeat, nor would I wish on any one of you. But it was a major failure. It was out of my hands. I did not create the real estate problem, but it sure did impact me. But as my daughter taught me when she was 6, you got to make lemonade out of lemons, so that's what happened. And it taught me about negotiating. It taught me to be patient, which I'm so not. And it just was a life lesson that I was able to turn into a positive. You probably have a few things that I'm hoping are coming to mind when I'm talking through this for yourself. You ended up in a bed. For the moment, you thought you were in a place and you were going to burn, you know, flames flying everywhere around you. But then, now you look back and go, hey, this is good, right? Excuse me, let me just take a sec. Be kinder towards other people. I wish today, in today's world, that, you know, when you were talking about your experience and what you found good about the program, I was thinking, now you know all the other entities around you, so like when you get mad at Chesapeake Gas the next time because they screwed up your bill or something, you're not going to be as mad because you know Chesapeake Gas, you know? So, I mean, it's going to be good. And I was thinking that now that you know all those entities, your patience level, your tolerance level is elevated. So everybody should meet everybody else, so that maybe we wouldn't be having the drama we're having right now in society, because it's getting old with me. So I really would hope that knowledge of others and appreciation and respect really does go a long way. And it helps you too. It helps you keep your self-esteem and stay in a positive mode. Try something new. How many people have tried something new since our last meeting? In the last 8 months, who did something totally new? You're in a new job. Nobody's in anything new. What that took you out of your comfort zone and put you in a different spot?
What is that?
Well, that's exciting.
Scared as shit.
Another humbling event.
Not gonna lie, it was scary. I mean, I'd never done before. It was kind of on my bucket list. I went to my wife's son in West Virginia, 4th of July. Got a lot of buddies that live there. They put it together. And there were 5 of us with the instructor that went. We didn't go on the little baby courses. These 5 guys have been doing it. I haven't, so they knew that they had me. So, because I told them, I'm not going to pay to get your little shit scared out of me. I said, so they walked it over, and we went, and it's on video, and it's pretty intense.
How big were your eyes? Now, just because of you, they renamed it white knuckle rafting, right?
I was pretty quiet for the first 25 minutes. I didn't say a word. Wanted to die.
It's an adrenaline
I mean, but,
rush.
oh my God, I'm an adrenaline junkie, period. So I like it, but and would I do it again? It meant, would I still be scared? Because I mean, it's a couple times. I mean, I don't know if anybody's done it, but I mean, it's, you feel like you're gonna fall out.
We have no
You've got
control.
crazy rocks all over. I mean, it's.
Someone else has the brakes.
It's yeah. I mean, yeah. You got the instructor back. I mean, yeah. I mean, you're relying on him, and yeah, it scared me a little bit. But it was fun, and I'll do it again in a minute.
Nice. And why would you do it again in a minute?
because I like the adrenaline.
Here we go.
I mean, I'm going skydiving in 3 months.
Wow.
I'm all about the adrenaline. So
Nice.
I love the biggest, tallest roller coasters. If it has to do with adrenaline, I'm doing it. So.
Here you go. So you're okay with change, and you step out of your comfort zone a
Oh,
lot.
I do. Yeah.
You had some change, right? Yeah.
Yeah, just like some kind of starting a new career.
That's exciting.
Yeah. And scary. Yeah.
Come to a good kind of scary, right? Isn't there kinds of scary? So good scary kind of puts us in an okay spot. Scary, not too cool. Who else has done a change, something major since we last met?
Yes, I've been divorced, lost my job, got a new job. My most important, I think, that I've really done is I learned how to feed line to a weed eater.
I saw that post.
Got it!
Never done it for my life. I did it. I usually throw them away.
Wait a minute, throw the weed eater away. You throw the weed eater away.
Oh, I take it up in the air and I'm. That's right.
And what are you thinking as you're doing that? I'm going back to
A feeling of accomplishment.
Tough ass bitch.
Tough ass bitch.
Yes.
Tough ass bitch.
I did that one time.
And I was so hoping I was the only one of those in the room, but obviously I knew that you had a
I know. Best thing I've ever done this past year.
Good job. Well, you've had a lot of change, and congratulations. I'm glad you came out on top. What was your biggest effort that you made to make sure you